I bought this MacBook Pro last year in June. I have been using it mostly every day, and let me tell you, this is easily one of the best buying decisions I've ever made. I bought this laptop for making YouTube videos as well as regular personal use, and it has been a blast ever since. I loved the design when Apple unveiled it, and it has been the case ever since. The unibody build is exceptionally solid, and the ability to open it with one hand is much appreciated. I do have the Apple sticker on the Apple logo as it was getting scratched. I also have the Sidhu Moosewala sticker on the side. The bottom has the MacBook Pro engraving along with the feet to make it taller and help with airflow. The laptop is a bit chunky and heavy, but I've hardly ever traveled with it. On a side note, I do have the Herschel 13-inch sleeve for this laptop, and it is a perfect fit for the 14-inch MacBook Pro. So if you are in the market for a sleeve, this is one of the best options out there. Now another big change with this MacBook was the introduction of some basic but much needed ports. There's MagSafe, which is amazing, but we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Moving to the other ports, we have 3 USB-C or Thunderbolt 4 ports, 2 on the left and 1 on the right. These are very convenient and offer fast speeds when I use my Samsung SSD. There's also the headphone jack on the left, and the final 2 ports are the HDMI 2.0 and the memory card slot. The HDMI port is super convenient for plugging in my external Dell 27-inch monitor. I did make a separate video about this monitor, so you can watch that as well. The memory card slot is also used frequently for transferring videos taken on my Sony ZV-E10. Now all the ports are convenient to say the very least. The only port I slightly miss, and I mean very slightly, is a USB-A port, partially due to the fact that I use a wireless mouse that requires this port. But back to the MagSafe. This is my first time using it, and it's just brilliant and once again convenient. I have the standard 67 watts charging brick, and it charges the laptop pretty quickly. I love the fact that the entire charging system is in the brick instead of somewhere in the middle. The braided cable has also held up well. There are in fact no signs of color change or wear and tear on this cable. Now while we are discussing charging, let's also discuss discharging. The battery life on this laptop is good. Yeah, that's the word I would use. It's not great and it's not terrible. I've actually never noticed how long it lasts me on a single charge. That's because I always have it plugged in whenever I get a chance. I do use it on medium brightness and with ProMotion always on. Plus video editing, as you know, is an intensive task and that uses a lot of juice as well. But I have to applaud Apple. Even when using it for processing a 4K video with titles and effects and all that, I've never once heard the fan spin on this thing. And I mean never. And that shows how great of a machine this is. Overall, the MacBook Pro's build quality has held up amazingly well. That is also because I've babied this laptop. I take solid care of this thing because it's the most amount of money I've ever spent on a gadget. For me, the most amazing part of this laptop without any doubt is the display. It has a 14.2-inch mini LED HDR 120Hz display that is just a delight to use every day. It has a notch up top with a 1080p camera, which once again is really good. At launch, people did make a huge deal about the notch, but honestly I've never been bothered by it. It neatly integrates into the macOS menu system. The display here is also plenty bright at 1000 nits, and it can go up to 1600 nits when viewing HDR content. Now just to let you know how much I love this display, I downloaded 4K HDR IMAX version of Interstellar, arguably one of the best movies ever, measuring a whopping 32 GB. And I've seen it multiple times on this laptop. It's a gorgeous display of this display's capabilities. The 120Hz ProMotion is a cherry on top. macOS already has fluid animations, and pairing those with a high refresh display is a treat for the eyes. I have seen setups where people keep their MacBooks closed on the side and just use a monitor, and I'm actually amazed by that. Why would you not want to see one of the best displays on a laptop every day? And why would you not want to subscribe to this channel right now? Okay, enough about the display. Moving to the keyboard. This is a backlit Magic Keyboard with Touch ID tucked at the side. Touch ID is fast and reliable. The keyboard is also really good to type on. It is in this indented black rectangle and it gives a nice contrast to the space gray look. The black keys are prone to touch marks and oily skins, but I try to clean these every few weeks. To the both sides of the keyboard we have high fidelity 6-speaker sound system with force cancelling woofers. So this is Apple's fancy way of saying these speakers are great. They actually really sound amazing and really amp up the display visuals. Remember how I made a huge deal about the display and watching Interstellar? Well, these speakers also add to that experience. Below the keyboard we have the glass trackpad. It is very smooth, very big, and helps with the swiping gestures of macOS. And a review about this machine is incomplete without talking about the beast that is the M1 Pro chip. Now this is the base model with 16GB of RAM, 512GB of storage, and the base M1 Pro chip. I did a lot of research before buying this laptop, and I knew for my use case I could easily get away with the base model. Turns out I was indeed correct. RAM has never been an issue, storage has never been an issue. I have a 1TB Samsung SSD which is plenty helpful and fast for storage purposes. And the M1 Pro chip has been more than powerful enough for my use case. As mentioned earlier, I have never heard the fan spin on this machine. I have done a lot of 4K video editing and processing and it's been flawless. By the way, I use DaVinci Resolve for editing videos. Before this MacBook, I was using a relatively low power Dell XPS for video editing, and that laptop would normally take 30 to 40 minutes for a small 4-minute 4K video. This MacBook Pro on the other hand does it in about 2 minutes. Just wow. I know I should be used to this by now, but I'm still amazed by how fast it outputs a 4K video. During video editing, it does show signs of slowdown when using a video effect or a fusion composition, but I hardly do that as you can see from my basic video editing skills. Apart from this, I've never seen this laptop lag. And judging by the way this laptop performs, I don't think I need to upgrade anytime soon. If you are in the market for a laptop and have a lot of cash lying around, I would highly recommend getting one of these. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. And that's it for this video guys. Let me know if you have any questions, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.